What's up, guys? Alex Class here with Msjtv. Today I'm joined by Coach Pat Clatchey. Coach, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, no problem, man.
I'll start off with one of the big questions this year is your front court, losing Amani Hansberry to Illinois. Who do you think can fill into that? You've got Brandon Holmes starting at the center at the 5 and Tyon Farrell starting at the 4.
I don't really know if you can replace Amani Hansberry and what he did and the impact that he had. Just a great player on both sides of the ball, dominant at times, and always seemed to step up in the big moment when we needed it the most. So I don't really know if you're going to replace him, but with that being said, there are opportunities for other guys to kind of step in. You know, Tyon had a really good season last year. I think he's improved his game a lot. Brandon Holmes, you know, now it's time for him to step up and see what he can do. I think Brandon's improved. We have another 6'8" freshman, Kenneth Anthony, who we think can certainly contribute, you know, on the court as a freshman. And then I think the other thing is a guy like Joe Green, who's sort of a jack of all trades. You know, we might have to sometimes play with a smaller lineup, you know, with him out there. And I think Joe's a, you know, very capable player of helping in, you know, many areas.
Yeah, it was really big for you guys defensively last year. Speaking of Tyon, can you just talk about his URI commitment to Rhode Island this past summer, and then what do you think he's ready to take a leadership role on the team?
You know, first of all, just another guy who's come through the program, who's worked hard, and, you know, now has an opportunity to play at the collegiate level and the Division I level. Me personally, I think Tyon was under-recruited. You know, I think he spent a lot of time in the off-season expanding his game, being a more consistent shooter, displaying more ability off the dribble. But, you know, he's a guy that, you know, that we're going to have to count on, you know, in order to have a successful season.
Yeah, that was something I noticed in the summer games. You could see he was really expanding his game to the three-point line, taking a lot of jump shots.
Yeah.
And then later in October, when you guys played in the challenge at Loyola, he was doing a lot better attacking to the basket again, which he did last season.
He spent a lot of time in the gym, and so far it's shown.
And you guys have Jordan Brathwaite transferring from Good Counsel this year. Could you just speak on the impact of him coming into your backcourt?
You know, very talented athlete, you know, and a very versatile basketball player who, you know, played in the WCAC and, you know, was successful. You know, he proved that he could play at that level. You know, for us, I mean, he's a proven scorer, shooter, good on the ball defender, can rebound. You know, very, in my opinion, a very valuable addition.
Yeah, and then also to your backcourt, Elijah Hall started for you guys this past fall. He kind of came off the bench last year, dealt with some injuries this summer. Now he's entering a starting role. Could you speak on the impact of him?
Yeah, I mean, well, right now he's actually hurt again. But, you know, I think Elijah, first of all, he thinks and plays like a point guard. You know, he's a very good passer. He's a very good shooter. You know, he has really good vision. I think he's going to be around some weapons that should make his job easy. His job should be get the ball up the court, you know, passing it or dribbling it, find the open man, make open shots, and, you know, just compete defensively.
Yeah, you guys look to run in transition a lot. You had Amani running the break. You had your guards running off of rebounds. So you think looking to do more of the same this year? Yeah,
I mean, we really look for guys that we call grab and go, guys that can grab a defensive rebound and go, where we don't have to outlet the ball. Right now, Brandon and Kenneth are not in that category. Brandon is actually starting to show some signs of being able to take a dribble or two and snap it ahead. But, you know, any of the guys that get a defensive rebound can trigger the break, you know, with those first two quick, productive dribbles looking down the floor.
Yeah, that's a big part of your guys' success these past few years. And then just the expectations. You guys have some younger players coming up from JV and Brighton, BJ, and Torian. What are the expectations for them and some of the freshmen coming in?
I think all of those guys are very talented underclassmen players. You know, Torian, Brighton, BJ, you know, all three sophomores. You know, good players. I think it'll be a transition, a little bit of an adjustment period, for the varsity. Some of it physical, and then the 2 freshmen I think are very, very talented players. Kenneth is 6'8". I think his defense right now is ahead of his offense, but I think he's capable of contributing offensively. And I think Zukim is a tremendous athlete that brings just a lot of versatility and toughness to the table.
Yeah, and with just gaining their experience, do you think those summer and fall games help them out and help out the rest of your team?
Yeah, I think it does. Just, you get out there and you're competing, same as the preseason practices and things like that.
Yeah, and just in those games, those fall games, especially at Loyola, transition defense seemed to be a sort of issue for you guys. Are you guys focusing on that in practice?
Oh, yeah, we work on it every day, but until a team, kind of goes on an 8-0 run and you can say, well, that's what I've been talking about. Yeah. It doesn't seem to get their attention. But, even, guys like, Ryan Truitt, he started a lot of games last year. He brings a lot of experience to the table as well. So we feel like our perimeter depth is definitely one of our strengths.
Yeah, once you guys enter MIA, BCL competition, who do you think is going to be the biggest competition? Do you think there could be possible matchup problems with inexperience from the bench?
I always think the league, has some parity and some balance. It usually seems to come down to St. Francis and us. I do think there are some teams that are, on the verge because they had young talent that could take the next step, mostly being Spalding, Loyola, and Mount Carmel.
Yeah, they were in crazy competition last year, but you could see you guys did enter into some tough games with them. And then just a couple of last-minute questions. When you guys enter into practice, what is your philosophy for your team, trying to improve them from the previous game and going to the next one?
Our practices are basically based on fundamentals, skill development, footwork, trying to build those as habits that carry over to the games. Our goal is to be really good defensively, especially in man-to-man, and then offensively just value the ball, have some offensive balance, share the ball, and make good decisions and play the right way.
Yeah, and last year you did implement your offense into the JV level. Do you think that helped them kind of have more experience, kind of know what they're doing once they...
I think it helps, but I think until you really get your feet wet at the varsity level, the speed, the talent, it's a little different.
Yeah, and finally, who's your favorite team or coach to watch outside of high school that you implement into your coaching?
Well, at the time, Jay Wright in Villanova, and now he's retired. I just love the way they played and how he prepared his teams. But sometimes I'll start to watch games and the team will catch my attention and I'll follow them. But, right now I would have to say Villanova.
All right. Coach Clatchey, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thanks a lot.